not going to operate under a timetable of whether there's a DNC convention or not. What he will do, I believe, is if there is evidence, he will present that to the Attorney General, who now has to disqualify herself, recuse herself, for prosecution. Let me take it a step further here. And this is, I think, something we have to underscore. There is also, and I think part of the time frame here, Sean, is this started out just about an email and a server, and it's broadened. We know that. It's now there's the questions about the Clinton Foundation, so we don't know the scope of the FBI's inquiry, but it's significant. When I worked with Treasury, as a lawyer at Treasury, when we put together these criminal cases for DOJ, it was extensive, and they were long time frames. So I think they're looking at a lot of information here. They're going to take the evidence where it leads. But, you know, Loretta Lynch has said that this is, she's not going to interfere negatively with this, but she did. So, you know, I'm not trying to besmirch her as a person, but you're calling it a lack of judgment. I'm saying it's unethical conduct.
I'm going to jump in here. I agree that these prosecutions do take their time. I've been involved with them on the defense side. I know that you've been involved in them on the prosecutorial side. And that's in Comey. You know, Comey's a stand-up guy, as you say, Ashcroft, standing up for the NSA surveillance, standing up for the Fourth Amendment. Going back to your suggestion that Clinton did this on purpose, even if you get rid of Loretta Lynch, somebody who comes and stands in her shoes still has the FBI to answer to, or to at least discuss this with, the vast majority of, and the bulk of the evidence that they've collected so far. So the idea that getting rid somehow of Loretta Lynch changes the outcome of the investigation, I think is a little bit of a stretch.
So then what did we think? She went in there, they talked about their grandkids, and they talked about where he's traveling to play golf while his wife's under investigation, and he said we're all good, right? Hey, thank you very much.
That's what she said. He hasn't commented, and we have no reason to believe that she would lie about it.
First of all, she only commented because she got caught. I mean, that's the reason she commented. She got caught because we talked about this today. This is they're acting as if there is no one in the world of media we live in that now none of this would come out. And Bill Clinton, he hasn't said anything. Why would he? What does he have to say? He's not a current office holder. She is. She's the chief law enforcement officer of the United States. Shame on her.
Danielle, you going to answer that?
I mean, I think that I'm not in an enormous amount of disagreement. I think that this was a huge mistake. I do not think that this was something calculated by Bill Clinton, because I do not think it actually serves his purposes. I think that she should recuse herself. And as I said, as a Democrat, this is the last thing that people who believe that the process should go forward in the way that processes should, without political interference, without any of these other things that we've seen. I want this to be clean, and this is not clean, and I'm angry about it, frankly.
Well, you should be angry about it, because as a Democrat, it's embarrassing. But let me tell you something else. This is the same Attorney General who 10 days ago said, you know how you defeat terrorism? With love. Okay? So, you know...
Does that bother you? Does that bother you?
Me.
Bothers me.
Cool car.
We clearly have different opinions about the use of language as it relates to terrorism.
Do you think loving ISIS is the answer?
All you need is love.